here with Adeline Gray at the Olympic Training Center, getting ready for another World Championships. Last year you weren't able to compete during the season, and you're back. Thoughts about getting another opportunity at the world level?
No, I'm excited about being able to compete on another world team. It's somewhere I've been before, and I'm looking forward to going back to Budapest and having some good matches on the senior stage.
Now, your weight class is a little bit different, went up a kilo, but a lot of the same competitors you saw before. Talk about how your season has gone, because you've wrestled a lot of them already, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of the same crowd that's out there. Unfortunately, I think they made our weight class a little bit smaller than, I know they increased it a kilo, but they also added one-day weigh-in, so you don't get the opportunity for those bigger women to cut. So they are having to stay a little bit closer to their weight class. So, I mean, I know United World Wrestling looks like we made the gap a kilo smaller from going all the way from 50 to 60 or 76 now, but it is a smaller division fitting 10 weight classes, so I think you're going to see some of the same people in some weights, and some weights are going to be really jumbled just because they are so close together, like in that 55 range.
Have you been pleased with your progress since you got back in the mat this fall? You've had a lot of competitions.
I have. I've had a lot of competitions, a lot of mat time, so it's been a lot of competing, not so much training, so I've been excited to kind of just get on the mat and get some day in, day out practices. I feel like I've just been traveling and then competing and coming back and resting and then traveling and competing, so that's been like kind of my flow this whole year, but it's kept me sharp and excited to wrestle, so I am taking a little bit of time off before we move to the World Championships, and looking forward to being dominant there.
You're not going on the trip, this one, but doing some special training camps. Could you talk a little bit about that? Coach Steiner was pretty excited about the fact that you and Aaron are going to have a different approach to coming up to the end of this training cycle.
Yeah, most of the world team is headed off to Poland for a points tournament, but I decided that I didn't need another competition this year. I've had quite a few and just want some time to really work on some techniques and really kind of figure out my style headed into the World Championships. And so I'm headed out to Wyoming Seminary to do a couple training camps with the Wyoming Sem girls and their national team there, so I'm looking forward to being there with that development team and seeing who we have and what techniques they have, and just kind of get some young blood working with me. And then I'm going out to Penn State to train with the Penn State program for a week to get my feet wet, get some high-level competition and just a different feel, but definitely excellence that I'll be surrounded by.
And you've been at Penn State before. I mean, you're obviously welcome as part of that program. What's that like? They're the best college team. They got great regional training center people. Do you enjoy the experience of going to different RTCs?
I do. I mean, and that RTC with that kind of blood in there is just so amazing. I mean, Cale Sanderson has built a dynasty there, and just to be around his quality of guys and how much they bring to the table day in and day out is really, really special. So the same feeling that you get when people first move to the Olympic Training Center where they're like, I have arrived, you get that feeling from those young men walking in that room and being on a team like Penn State's team. So it's cool to feel that, and it's cool to see the different techniques. They've got some international guys that come in from time to time, and I've had fun there. I think that's the reason I keep going back, because I've really, really enjoyed my experience of getting in there and have fun wrestling on the mat and learning some new techniques, but not having it be like, okay, today we're breaking down a double leg, but it's like, let's go in and feel this and just play wrestling, try to figure out and see if we can get better at wrestling. And sometimes it's just a lot of fun in games, but it's a lot of fun in games in some hard situations that turn into more work than a 2-hour practice that we have here at the training center. I also like that it's not at elevation. The sea level life is nice, being able to breathe all the time.
Oh yeah, no, it's got to be a little bit.
It is. It's much nicer.
Hey, this team was second in the world last year. What's it look like for the group? I mean, you've been on a lot of world teams, and we've had some good performances. Is this group capable of continuing its rise up?
For sure. I mean, we have a lot of talent on the team. We still have some holes here and there, and I think those get highlighted on the grand stage, but something I've really noticed is this team's working hard to fill those holes, so I'm looking forward to competing with them. They're a bunch of very hardworking women, and I'm excited to be surrounded by them and just headed into the World Championships with a stellar team, and just our team camaraderie has been a lot better this year than in past years. It's an individual sport, and I understand that to the utmost, that you need to do what you need to do to be the best that you can be on that day, and that's the best way you can help your team. But at the same time, we've been trying to reach out and make sure that each other are healthy, make sure that we're in a good team dynamic. So it's been Terry Steiner leading us to be a little bit better friends off the mat and to help encourage ourselves on the mat.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out there again at another world tournament, and you know, October seems like it's a long way, but it really isn't, is it?
We're 52 days away from where I compete, so it is and it isn't.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sure you guys will all be ready.
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much, Adeline.
Thanks.